Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope everybody's enjoying their Friday. Everybody's off work now. Can start the weekend off on a good note with this draft primer. All right. So I talked about this the other day. This is gonna be something very helpful for everybody, for all you guys. Okay, especially if you're into the draft, if you're a draft addict like I am at this time of year. This will be right up your alley. If you haven't gone through the process, this is a very good way to get into it. With everything I'm gonna go over, we'll take this journey together. Basically, what I want to tell you guys, we're gonna take this journey together. We're gonna get familiar with a lot of prospects, and then by the time you know it, when the draft comes, you're gonna know all these names that are getting drafted. You're gonna be familiar, and you'll be able to wow some of your friends. Okay. So let's get right into it. All right. So right off the bat, you know how it is. Cap mode time. We're talking NFL draft season. I have let's go look at this slide here real quick. Okay. All right. So as you can see from this slide here, these are the 2017 draft picks from the Cowboys. All right. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 picks. All right. First round we have the number 28 pick. Round 2, the number 60 pick. Round 3, the number 92 pick. The comp picks, they start at the end of round 3. So as you can tell, round 4 through 7, those picks have not been locked in yet. Only the first 3 have been, and the comp picks are usually announced sometime in March. Last year the comp picks were announced on March 11th, so right around free agency or right after it, we should have a better know of where we're drafting the rest of the rounds. For the Cowboys, we won't have any comp picks this year, but we do have, the 4th round pick. 5th round, we don't have it. We gave it, as you can see here, we traded our 5th round selection to Buffalo for a Matt Castle, right? So that is what it is. That wasn't a very good trade by the time. It looked like it was going to be something that could keep us afloat, but that ended up not being a very good pick there. So we lost that, but we did gain the other 7, as you can see here. And we have 2 7-round picks. So one of those is from Buffalo. So we have the round 6 pick, round 7, and another round 7 pick. So obviously these are subject to change, okay? So you never know what can happen. We're talking about trades, and Romo, the big elephant in the room. How will it affect the draft? Are we gonna swap picks, 1st round picks? Are we gonna get additional picks? What are we gonna do here? So as of right now, this is what we have. And then, around free agency, we'll know the final picks here. But that's it for the draft picks. Let's go ahead and I'm going to go over some people that you guys need to follow if you aren't following on Twitter. If you aren't on Twitter, I recommend that you get on Twitter. If you really want to be in the know with all the draft discussion and draft prospects, the visits, who we're working out, who the Cowboys are visiting with. It's a very helpful tool. So right now, we're going to take a look at the slide here. So let's take a look at the slide as far as who I recommend for you guys to follow on Twitter. All right. So here it is. So here's the slide, who to follow on Twitter. I kind of have this in order here as far as my number ones, and then towards the bottom here as well. But all of these guys do a great job covering prospects, the NFL draft, rumors and whispers. Okay, so let's start right off the bat. Brian Broaddus from the Mothership, from DallasCowboys.com, at Brian Broaddus. All right, so follow him. He's very, very good at responding to your draft questions, permitting time. He's very knowledgeable. He's a former scout of the Cowboys, so he tends to have his ear to the ground, as they say. And you listen to him and follow his tweets, and you'll get familiar with a lot of prospects that the Cowboys are interested in. You know, he won't outright say, you know, we're going after these guys or whatever, but, you know, a very good one to follow, okay? And then Dane Brugler from CBS Sports. He's one of my favorite guys. Well trusted. He's done some interviews here for me at the blog in the previous draft. So, very good guy. He'll respond to questions as well on Twitter. But his mock drafts, I like his out of all of them. He's pretty accurate. He does his work very well. He releases a draft guide every year that covers almost every prospect that's going to be, you know, drafted, and he has the projections of where they're going to be drafted and you know, little tidbits that you're not going to know of. He has them in the draft guide. So follow Dane Brugler. David Hellman, also from DallasCowboys.com, does a good job as far as putting names out there. You know, putting video links and things like that. Covers the draft very well. And then as you can see here, the next one I have is At the Draft Show. So basically the first three are the trio that really comprise of the draft show. So that's why I have these guys at the top. They're Cowboys centric. Although Dane Brugler, he does everything, but he happens to be local there at Frisco. So that's why they have him there at the draft show. He does a good job. All three of these guys do an amazing job covering the draft. I recommend, on top of following the draft show on Twitter, to go to DallasCowboys.com and actually watch their show or listen to it. You will grab a lot of names from there and little hints of what the Cowboys are liking and who they're possibly thinking about. All right, so those are the best ones there. Mike Fisher, obviously, a local guy there. You know, as we get closer to the draft, he tends to come out with some tidbits and news and breaking news as far as trade news and who the Cowboys might be targeting, who came in for a visit and this and that, and who's off their draft board and all kinds of news. Just in general, Mike Fisher's a great person to follow for Cowboys news, but a good one to follow for the draft. Walter Cherpinski at Walter Football. This is another really good one I like to follow. His Twitter is a good one to follow, but if you go to his website, walterfootball.com, what I like to go there is to view his draft prospect visits section. If you go there, you know, he has his mock drafts, and then he has draft prospect visits. In there, you can go by team. So go to the Cowboys team. He has a link there, and he has a list of players that the Cowboys have visited with, talked to over the course of the draft process. Of course, they're not always fully accurate. Sometimes they're missing names, but for the most part, pretty accurate. So you wanna definitely check his site out. Mike Mayock. Mike Mayock, he is he's pretty much the NFL Network's #1 draft guy there. He hasn't been on Twitter for over the last couple of years. He didn't want to be on it, but he finally got onto it last year, and so follow him. He puts a lot of clips on his Twitter and talks about different prospects, what he likes, what he doesn't like, pros and cons, different players, on-field, off-field issues for players. A good follow. Daniel Jeremiah, he's also NFL Network guy. He's at Move the Sticks. You gotta follow this guy. I like following him because he puts out some good mock drafts along with Charles Davis. NFL Network does does these draft shows where every day they do mock drafts. So those two guys are fun to watch on NFL Network, and also follow those two guys. Charles Davis, he does a lot of college football coverage, commentary. So I like going to him around draft season because he knows a lot about these guys. He's seen them live, and he can give you his perspective. I like it. You know, it's a different angle, and he's pretty knowledgeable as well. Emery Hunt, Football Game Plan. I've done work with him before. Over the years, I've known Emery here for a while now, and he does good work. You got to go check out his website. He covers everybody, small colleges, all the majors, and everybody. So follow him. He's got good interviews with all the prospects. He does mock drafts, and he puts out good stuff on Twitter as well. So definitely follow him. Okay, so Todd McShay, ESPN. he's one to follow. ESPN, of course, you gotta have a subscription. You know, they do the whole subscription deal or whatever, so, you know, whatever. But we'll have all that information here for all you guys. But Todd McShay, he puts out mock drafts, so it's good to check him out. And Josh Norris from Roto World, as they say. He's another good one to follow. He puts out, you know, player visits, just a lot of what these other guys do. He's a good follow. So these are the go-to guys for me. You follow these guys throughout the draft season, and you're going to be good to go, all right? But definitely let me know in the comments if there's other guys that you follow. You know, this you can get real deep in this thing. Like I follow like agents, sports agents, agency groups, and all kinds, because even those ones will put out, hey, so and so met with the Cowboys, and so met with, you know, the Redskins or whatever. I mean, so it can get really deep, you know, depending on who you follow. So, but for the core guys, these ones here, these are good guys to follow. All right. So, what else is there? So, the other thing that I like to do, and if you haven't visited this site yet, you want to check it out. There's two sites that I like to add here that I do during all this draft season. And one of them is fanspeak.com. At fanspeak.com, they have a mock draft simulator. It's awesome. So I have a clip here of what it looks like and what it does. So let's take a look at it real quick. All right. So here it is. This is Fanspeak. This is the on the clock draft simulator. They have two here. There's one free, and then there's the on the clock premium. The premium one is the same as on the clock, but this one you can do trades and that kind of thing. So just to give you a quick look at it, let's go to it. On the clock. Okay. Let's skip that. Go ahead and pick your team. Obviously, the Cowboys all the way. All right. How many? And then it lets you pick how many rounds you want. So let's just do one here. But obviously, this is just a quick, you know, introduction to this. So click next. All right. So which board do you want to use? You can. The default is Fanspeak. That's pretty good. I've used this one in the past. The default's been pretty good. Let's go with CBS here and see what it does. Let's go to next. All right, let's go to next. And then let's draft. So here we go. Alright, so it's automated until it gets to your pick, to your team. So right now, the draft is happening. And people are booing the commissioner as we speak. Okay? Like they always do. So now we're 18. Alright, so here we go. The Dallas Cowboys are on the clock. Okay? So here it gives us all the choices. You know, got all your position groups, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and all that. Alright, so we are on the clock. So you can go quarterback, Mahomes, no. Running back, we don't need it. Receiver, John Ross is available. Alright. But just for a quick, you know, introduction, we'll go with Derek Barnett. The pick is in. The Cowboys have drafted Derek Barnett, Tennessee, defensive end. All right. So there it is. It gives you a rundown here of all the picks in the first round. The Browns, they're gonna draft Watson here, ruin his life. All right. Howard went here early, so you know, this is just a quick introduction. Like I said, very fun tool to do. You know, once I get to my mock drafts, this is a tool that I'll be doing, and I usually post these on the blog. So make sure you're following the blog, and of course I'll put some videos here of mock drafts for everybody here on the channel. But here's a review here. 28 pick, there Barnett, edge rusher. That's what we need. All right, so that is the draft simulator from Fanspeak. You can go ahead and check it out. All right, so that was Fanspeak. As you can tell, it's a pretty cool tool, isn't it? You got to definitely check it out. If you haven't used it before, check it out. Go through it. Like I said, we'll go through this journey together with a draft, and then you can create your own draft here. And if you want to spend a little extra money, you can do the premium, which you can trade up and things like that. I do it myself only because, you know, you really get into this. You really get into it if you're a draft maker this time of the season. You wanna have all these scenarios like, hey, if we trade up here, you can do trades with teams, and it's all automated. It's all computer automated, so you know you can make a trade or they'll deny you the trade. But it's a fun tool to do, and it's good for mock drafting. When I do my mock drafts, I use that one, and I do my mock draft, and whatever the results are, that's what I use for my mock draft. So it's a fun tool. So we'll come back to that. You'll see me use it here. I'll do some screenshots here of my mock drafts using that tool, and we'll discuss all these mock drafts that we're gonna do here. So it's gonna be fun. All right. And another website that I like to look at, I'm going to show you here real quick. It's called Draft Breakdown. Draftbreakdown.com. So let's take a look at these guys here. All right. The other site that I like to go to, it's called draftbreakdown.com. The site's been up for a while. What I like about this is it has a whole collection of your players. You know, you can go to prospect list, latest videos. See, they have one of every player, the whole game. Speed it up just to cover the particular player. So you go to latest videos here. It'll show you like their new things here. Like here's one for Deshaun Hall. The guy the Cowboys might be interested in. Carl Lawson versus A&M. John Ross. Okay, so if you just click, let's just say Deshaun Hall here. Video coming. Alright, so that's draftbreakdown.com. A very cool tool. They have a lot of videos of the prospects, as you can see there, and they're always putting new content out there. Like the Deshaun Hall, that was a new video. But they have a lot of prospects on there. I mean, you can spend hours and hours becoming an armchair scout. But yeah, so that's it, man. That's the draft primer for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get familiar with a lot of this, with all of our draft picks here that we have. You know, we'll update everything as soon as the compensatory picks come out and all of our draft positioning is finalized. We'll have that on the blog, and also we'll talk about it here at the site. So yeah, so please like and subscribe to the channel. And just a big thank you to all you guys that have been subscribing and commenting. I really appreciate it. You know, I get when I have the chance, I try to reply to everybody here that I can. We have a lot of comments, but I really appreciate everybody. I hope everybody has a good weekend. Okay, so let's get to it. Let's dig into the draft here. Check out these links I sent you, and let's do this. Draft season 2017. All right. Thanks, guys.